miss, or you miss part, or sometimes your kids come in, or something happens in your life, you can always ask us for the recording. And so we are so excited to be hosting this sneak peek into coaching. And, it is really crazy because however you found whomever's on here, it's wild because we do live all over the place. And we are all different people and different types of people. And, we were talking about our questions before this call, and I was like, most of our answers are generally the same, to most of these questions, because we kind of came for the same purpose of just helping other people. And so I feel like that's always been like our go-to. So I think it's really awesome for this because we were chatting about our retreats. And so if you have followed any of us, we are retreat, like that's like our jam. And so, yeah. And we have been to retreats together. We have ate together, drank together, like cried together. I mean, just really enjoyed life together. And so we were like, how cool would it be to host an event that like this for you and for people that want to come on and want to be a coach and to learn more about this. Like, we don't want to just, hey, you should sign up, but like, I want to sign you up and then get you to that retreat. Like, that's the end goal, is like, we're getting you to the retreat. We're getting you to the next big event. We're helping you be successful. And so it will never, ever be about just signing up to like, here, sign up and make money and buy. It's like, no, sign up, hold my hand. We're going to snuggle later and then eat and drink all the drinks. So if you are game for that, then you will love this and you will love to be a part of this. So I will just say a little bit about me and then we'll get started. I'm Farron Duran. I'm just one of the coaches that are helping to host. And so I have 2 kids. I'm a mom. Like I have 2 kids and I'm a mom and I'm a wife. And I am, I just recently moved to my dream home in South Carolina. And it's crazy because this only happened because of coaching. And so every little ounce of success is only because of coaching. And so I'm so excited to bring you guys on here and to give you a piece of that so you can like hear and see, and you can get pumped yourself. So I will pass it on to the next one.
All right, I'll go next. So I'm Kelly Guy, for you guys who don't know me, and I have 2 kiddos as well. Kinsley is 6 and Grandma's going to be 4 next week. And I'm married to my husband, Jake, and we are originally from Indiana, but we just moved to Charleston as well in August of last year. And so I'm officially a full-time coach. But in my previous life, I was a registered veterinary nurse working in radiology and always loved what I did. But when I had kids, that really shifted for me. And my mindset became a bit more focused on how could I find presence with my family, because I was working really late nights, on call on weekends, going in overnight, and it was really stressful. And I wanted to be more present with the kids. So I would leave for work in the mornings and cry my eyes out. And I thought, how can I find more? And coaching came at just the right moment. And I asked myself, why not me? And so you'll hear some things from us tonight about, why we were scared or why we jumped in. But now I get to do this full time. I'm so excited. We're living in our dream location too. And like today, I took my kiddos to swimming lessons in the middle of the afternoon. Like I would have normally been doing CTs and MRIs at that point. And it just hits me every week, like, gosh, like all these moments that I'm getting for myself because I simply said yes and surrounded myself with ladies like you guys who keep me positive. And I'm so thankful for that. So I'm so excited to share and see what happens for you guys in the future.
All right, for those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Kayla Calabrese. I live in Venice, California with my boyfriend and my 2 teenage boys, Kate and Jake. They are 13 and 15. He's about to take his learner's permit test. So send some positive vibes this way for me, you guys. That's a scary experience. Right? I will be 44 tomorrow. And just a quick little background on me. I have a journalism degree. I worked in PR for over a decade. And I got sick and tired of promoting shit that I didn't believe in, number one. And that's what first made me want to become a health and wellness coach. And second, I tried so many avenues to be a health and wellness coach for like 6 years, you guys. I went back to school. I had a blog. I had a bar studio. I got nutrition coaching. I did all these things. Then I finally discovered Beachbody, which was like the total solution for me and my personal wellness journey, helping me bring all the pieces together. But it still took me 2.5 years of failing and quitting as a coach, like doubting myself, to where I finally found the right mindset. So now I say I've been a consistent coach for 4 years, because consistency matters. And I have built the lifestyle I've always dreamed of. So in 4 years, I am earning more than I earned at my highest salary in 10 years of public relations. I've actually doubled that salary in 4 years. But in year one, it was, it wasn't double that salary. Let's just say that. But I get to work from home. I get to be here for my kids every single day. I've got to watch them grow. I get to make my own hours, and I get to be present for my life. I get to create it. I like to call it life by design. And I just get to decide every single day, who do I want to be today? What do I want to give back to the world? How do I want to show up for my kids and family? And I have the freedom to do that. So I mean, not a day goes by that I don't wake up and feel immense gratitude that I made the really scary choice 4 years ago to take a chance on this opportunity in myself and to go all in and to say, you can't fail if you don't quit, Kaylee. So just stop quitting. And turns out I was right. So really excited to answer your guys' questions and share just a little bit more about this journey with you guys. So we have a list of questions actually from a lot of you guys, questions that we get on a regular basis. And we're going to take turns answering those, but we want you guys to participate through the chat. So if you have a question about something we say, please ask. If a question's been weighing on your mind that you want to know about this, type it in the chat. We're going to do our best to answer all of your questions.
All right, so let's start it off. So the first question, and then we'll just go, we'll have the questions up. So I think we just kind of each will answer. So the first question that came up from you guys was, how did you know you wanted to be a coach? And how did I know I wanted to coach? And so for me, it was, I knew I wanted to do this because I had lost 45 pounds. And I was getting through anxiety and postpartum depression. And I kept having this thought, like, what if I just helped one person, like just one mom, like that was it, one other mom to not feel the way I felt. And that is what brought me to be a coach. It was like, if I could just help one person. And I remember telling my coach, and so maybe if you guys are a part of a challenge group right now, or if you are like, kind of in here and you're thinking about the discount, I remember telling my coach, hey, I think I might have someone that might want to do this. And she's like, well, you could just do it and you could make an income and we can help people together. And it was like light bulb, holy crap, like I can do this. And so I started out wanting to be a coach just for maybe I could help one person. The discount is amazing. So I would be a coach no matter if I made money or not, because I think the 25% discount for me is worth it because my whole family is like Team Beachbody. And then, and now wanting to be a coach for the income is because I freaking love this. Like, I love that I get to stay home. I love that, like, I get to provide this for, like, tomorrow I'm going to Arizona. I'm flying to Arizona for like 2 weeks and nobody's telling me no. And the only income I'm bringing in is Beachbody. So like, holy shiznit, like that is crazy. My husband, I've made enough money to bring my husband home. So it's just mama taking the family to a random tiny house in Arizona, and Beachbody is funding this. So like, this is like your dreams can go anywhere. So for me, being a coach, it really did start at just wanting to help one person, but holy crap, to think of the impact that you can make, that one person can trickle down and you can help a million people. So I'm gonna pass it on.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. It's so powerful. I call it the ripple effect. Okay, so another question that we got was, what was your first goal for yourself? And I actually love this question because, like I said, like when I first started out, I had failed at coaching so much. So when I go back to like 4 years ago, when I finally made the commitment, recommitted, and it stuck for me, what I told myself was, and I just finished 80-day obsession. And during 80-day obsession, kind of our motto became, you can't fail if you don't quit. And it was so powerful to get through those 80 days of not drinking, eating super clean, showing up to work out every single day, like fitting that time in for myself, the self-care, like the structure that it created. And I thought, God, this was so powerful. And I had a light bulb moment where I said, what if I just applied this mentality to coaching? What if I just went all in and I said, I'm going to show up every single day and share this, because all I really want is like what Farron said, actually. All I really want is to help people feel the way I get to feel now. Like, this is so amazing. I can't not talk about it. These tools work. So I said, okay, what would that look like? And I decided to set myself 5 non-negotiables that I was going to do every single day. So my first goal for myself was, can I commit to those 5 business goals every single day, just like I committed to the workout, the timed nutrition, the sleep, and the self-care during 80-day obsession. So I took that like same structure, and that was my first goal for myself, was just show up every single day for my business for 80 days without missing a day and see what happens. And that was the launch pad, you guys. It was the absolute launch pad for my business. At the end of that 80 days, I couldn't believe how far I'd come. And I was literally like, what'll happen if I do it for another 80 days? Like, it just kept getting better, and it all grew from that one small commitment. So my first goal wasn't even financial. It was to prove to myself that I could be consistent and to show myself what was possible with consistency, just like I did in my fitness journey.
Sister, next.
I love that so much. Mine was honestly my mindset. And I love that you mentioned the consistency part, because I feel like I took that and applied it to my business to say, I don't leave my job in radiology before the job is done. I show up on time. I don't call off just because I don't feel like going. What happens if I treat my business in Beachbody the same way? And I did that through all sorts of different phases of life. And so one of the other questions we had was, how many hours a day do you work? And so the answer is, that can look so different for everybody. And it's going to look different the more your business grows and the ways that it changes. But for me, when I started, I had Kinsley, she's 6 now, but she was a baby then, and I was working full time. So literally for me, my business looked like me getting up whenever I did my nursing session in the morning with her. I would put her back down to sleep. I would go work out, and I would do 30 minutes of work before I took my shower and headed out the door for the day. When I was at work and I pumped, I was in a little utility closet at work, and I would get out my phone and I would send messages, and I would connect with people like me who were moms who were wanting more. I would use my lunch break, instead of socializing all the time or scrolling social media, I would use it to build my business. And so it really can be done from the start in a condensed amount of time. And whether that looks like for you sitting down at the morning or in the evening and working a full hour, great. If you don't have that and you need to do it in tiny little pockets of day, you can absolutely grow your business that way too. There's no right or wrong way, but you have to just find what works for you and commit to showing up consistently, to saying, okay, I would rather watch some Netflix right now, but I could send some messages and absolutely change somebody's life. So that is what got me through. And then, I got pregnant with Graham, and we had 2 kids, and then I worked my way to part-time and now to full-time coaching. And so my business has always looked different, but I would say if you can devote an hour a day, even in little pockets, starting out, that would be a fantastic start. And then, of course, the more you grow, the more you have that ripple effect, like Kaylee said, and the more you grow a team, your energy gets devoted to other areas and helping your team grow. But, now I'm home and I literally could work this business all day, every day. My regular job, I'd be like, is it time to go yet? And this job, I'm like, shoot, I got to pick up Kinsley. No. Like, it's just so much fun. But it's different for everybody. But I'd say starting out, would you girls agree, like about an hour a day in different pockets or fully, to just get your flow down?
Yeah, 1 to 2 hours a day, depending on your goals, how quick you want to grow. But if you can just give it an hour a day, you will find your flow and build from there.
Yes, I totally agree. I don't think if you, being that she said that, if ever you're like, I don't have the time, and if people are like, I don't have the time, like that's a misconception of coaching. I don't have the time. I'm already busy. I'm already doing this. Man, I have seen people with 7 kids working on their bachelor's crush this business. And sometimes you don't have the time. Like you think you don't have the time, but you find time for the things that you're passionate about. So it's like you have to ask, this is where you're like, man, would I be passionate about like making a lot of money, helping people, sitting on a beach with super trainers with a margarita in a hand? Yeah, I can be passionate about that. I can do that. Yeah, you'll work for that. Like you'll find the time. I don't care if it's I sit down to go to the bathroom. You know, your husbands do this. They sit down, they'll take forever. You can do the same thing, girls. You just pick up your phone and you're like messaging, like we can do this. So I mean, and I just to follow up with Kelly said the same thing, like picking up pieces of time. Like it's an hour. You don't need to find an hour in your day, like a block. It's can be here and there and whatever. And so and sometimes it's not. Sometimes you're like, I just can't. And it's a pick up on the weekend. So that time is never an excuse. Like you can do this. If you're passionate, you'll do it. So this is great because it leads into the next question was, how do you make money? And this is one of the questions that gives me all the anxiety. So, but this is like the most known thing, like most asked question you want to know, right? You're watching, you're like, how are these chicks making all this money? Like, because it sounds crazy, right? It sounds like too good to be true. What kind of MLM pyramid scheme are you guys doing, right? Let me just get that like elephant in the room and just like squash it. So I love this question because I love to own it. This is a business where you do not deserve to make an income unless you are making an impact. So if you're sitting here like, I'm going to make $1 million next week, or I'm going to make $100,000, you're not. And it's not going to happen like that. You're going to work for it. And I love this quote because it was like, if you love your job, you'll never work a day in your life. Bullshit. If you love your job, you will work harder than you've ever worked before in your life. Just like Kelly said, you will be excited. You will earn your money and you're going to have fun doing it. And it's going to be awesome. And it's like your income that you make is a direct correlation with the amount of people that you have helped. So when you have like, holy shit, I just made $1,000 in a week, and like you're like, I just helped a ton of freaking people love themselves. My income means that I gave kids back to their moms, that I gave people off food stamps, that I helped other women love themselves. Like that's freaking awesome. So how do you make money? Plain and simple, the easiest way to start is Beachbody gives you 25%. You get a 25% commission off of Beachbody. Anything. So from you like, whether you are into Shakeology or you're into a pre-workout or it's a workout program, that you basically have like a Beachbody social security number. That's how they do it. That's how they figure out. There are actually 13 different ways to make money as a coach. So for me, I just, when I tell people, you can't go into it being like, I'm going to make all this money, because then you're joining for the wrong reasons. You're joining because you want to make an impact. You want to make a difference. Hell yeah, you like to make some money. Let me teach you how. That's what we're here for. That's what your upline, that's what everyone, your coach that brought you into this is here to teach you how to make that money. Our first goal is to help you make that money back right away that you spend, like, hey, on your own fitness program, because that's just fun to say like, holy crap, I help people and I earn my own stuff back. After that, we help you build a business and wherever we meet you where you are. So if you're like, I'm just in it for the discount, awesome. Just do it for the discount. Great. If you're like, no, I actually want to have a hobby and I wouldn't mind paying for my next Netflix and chilling, awesome. We'll teach you how to do that. And if you're like, I want to run this business, I want to sit at that retreat with you with a margarita in hand, hell yeah, girlfriend, I will teach you how to do that. But it's going to start with you. It's just the basic is just 25%. And then there's team cycle bonus. There's all these other different ways. But unlike pyramid schemes are illegal. So that's not, but you actually have to work this business. You actually have to help people. It isn't just to make $1,000 tomorrow. It is like, hey, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to work hard because I want this. You will make money. It will be fun. You will make an impact, but you come in for the right reasons and all of that will happen. So pass it over.
Okay, well, the next question I feel like is a good tie-in, and it was on our list next, and we've had it in the chat, was how do you find customers and other coaches? Like, how do you find the people that you connect with? So I would say the easiest way to do this, and I think you guys can jump in and share as well, but it's by starting to share your journey. So I would say, like, you make a commitment to your personal journey. Like, pick a program, do it from start to finish, and show everything you're doing along the way. Talk about where you're at. Why did you want to start that? What program did you pick? Why did you pick it? How's it going? Be real. Don't pretend to be perfect. This is where I'm struggling. This is what was hard for me today. Here, celebrate your little successes. This is the progress that I'm seeing. I'm getting the workouts down, but I'm still struggling with nutrition. That's my next goal. So the way that you find people is by being you and genuinely and authentically sharing the journey that you're on. So they won't know that you're a coach. They won't know that you can help them. They won't know that they can coach with you unless you tell them. So you have to, number one, share your journey. And number two, not be afraid to say, come do this with me. Like, hey, did you guys know we could do this together? Like, I need accountability. I want girlfriends to do this with me. I want this to be fun. Like, what's the point in doing it if it's not fun, right? Like, for me, this business got really fun when I went from just inviting people to challenge groups, to workout programs, to inviting people to the total solution, which includes this business opportunity that makes it impact every aspect of your life and your well-being. And that's how I find people. So I just connect with them through, if they like my post or if they're watching my stories, I go and look at theirs, see who they are, what are they about? Can I comment on something that they shared? I just build relationships with people. Like, and I don't go into it going like, she looks like she'd make a good coach. She looks like she'd make a good challenger, because you can't predict that stuff about people, right? I've seen people who said they would never, ever, ever coach. Then they did a program and got amazing results. And they were telling all their friends and family about it. And everyone was like, wow, you're glowing. Wow, your energy is different. Tell me what you're doing. And all of a sudden, they're top coaches on my team. And they swore up and down they would never coach. So it's just got to start with sharing, got to start with being focused on yourself, but not being afraid to say, hey, want to do this with me? So it's really, it takes time though, just like anything else. You don't get a bicep muscle from lifting a weight one time. You're not going to build a team from putting one invite on Instagram. And if you expect to, you're going to feel really frustrated and really disappointed. The first person that you ask to join you may very well tell you no. They may tell you you're crazy. They may block you. But if you love what you do, if you believe in it the way we believe in it, then it doesn't matter what they think, because you know the value in it. You know what it's done in your own life and what it can do for other people. So if someone tells you no, or if they judge you or they block you, it does hurt. I'm not going to sit here and say, like, don't let it bother you. No, it's going to bother you. Just don't let it stop you. Keep going, keep inviting. No, that wasn't your person, and your person, maybe the next person or the 5th person or the 10th person down the line, but your people are out there. You can't fail if you don't quit. Just keep showing up. That's how you guys find your people. But you have to go into it with the expectation that this takes time, and you're not just going to have 50 customers on the first day.
Yes, agreed. Come into it learning from other people, being inspired by other people, but not comparing yourself to them. You're at a different spot. You don't know what work went into it before they hit that success. So keep that in mind. But the next question was, it kind of pairs off of that too. How do we help people when we're just learning? And the great thing is when you hop in, you're going to get an entire team. You're going to get your coach that's invited you. You're going to get a whole team, their mentorship program that you're going to get started in. We all do it a little bit differently, but also similar in the same way, where we're going to teach you how to connect with people, how to, start an Instagram page. If you don't already have one, we will give you the basics of that. And our company does a great job of that too, in an online office that you get. But if you feel like, oh, I can't start, I'll be a fraud because I don't know much about health and fitness yet. Our company gives us all the tools. right there. Kaylee mentioned the total solution, and we have access to fitness and trainers that are guiding us, and that will be guiding the people that we're inviting. They have calendars to follow. There's 2 nutrition programs in there that they can go and do. There's recipes. There are all the tools right there, and you are helping plug them into that, and you're doing it right alongside with them. So if you are starting day 1 of your health and fitness journey today, you can absolutely still be a coach, and you just tell your people, just be you. Like she said, you're not trying to be someone else. You're not trying to go out there and convince people that you know everything. You can simply start by saying, I'm doing something I'm really excited about doing. I'm learning, but I want to do it with you. Would you like to come with me on this? And you have the whole community to do it too. But I think just being yourself, like she said, owning your imperfections, that's great. Like, you'll never see me being the person completely on top of nutrition. And that's okay. Like, my group expects it from me. I do what I can. I share my struggles along the way. People learn from that. And so that's okay. You find your people through doing that. So you find a big group of a bunch of people just like you. All right. Baron, I'm going to pass it to you. Oh, that was kind of the same question, I guess.
Okay, so we are on, what if we aren't at our goal or in a health, we do, what if we aren't good at social media?
I think so, because that was kind of like 2 similar questions.
Yeah, that was good. So what if we aren't good at social media? So I'm sure if you are even thinking about this, and we all start, like, nobody starts, this is so good. Just everybody's been kind of saying that, because you don't start with 5,000 followers. You have to remind yourself right now, every single person that is from Oprah to anybody, the owner of Tesla, they all started with 0 followers. Every single person, even Jesus. Okay. Like everybody everywhere, I started with 0 followers. Okay. So you can't go into this like, holy crap, I'm not good. Nobody's good. Nobody knows anything about social media. We're all just doing our best. The thing that will get you ahead and help you is just always be willing to learn. So if I give you some perspective, and when I first started, I didn't know anything about social media. So I started this business I didn't have an Instagram. I only had 300 friends on Facebook, and I was like completely private. I was the girl that would not accept some friends from high school because I was like, no, what if they think I'm dumb? Like, just dumb in general, not even about being just dumb. Like, I was like, I had like all the time anxiety, and so I was that girl that was like, I can't, and so when I decided to be a coach, it was like, holy crap, I'm going to have to open up who I am and kind of put this out there. And if you are someone listening to this, like, yeah, I have anxiety, there's no way I can do that. For me, I had to go back and say, Farron, like, this isn't about you. This is about someone else. And if I hide my transformation and I don't show it to anybody, or I don't talk about how I found a new cream, or I found things that changed my life, I am limiting that for every other woman out there. And so when I would literally post something on social media, throw my phone on the bed, run downstairs and tell my husband, be like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. And surprisingly, people are good. Women are amazing. People are great. Supportive. The people will be supportive of you and your journey. I promise you. And if by any chance you're nervous of that one girl from high school that wasn't nice, I promise you she will join you. That will happen. That girl from high school that wasn't nice to you, that girl will join you. She'll be like, damn girl, you look good. And you're like, yeah. And you're like, and I will take your money. We will do this, and you will help her, and you'll end up being best friends. I promise. That's the kind of stuff that happens in this. When you better yourself, that kind of stuff actually happens. So the point is, if you feel like right now I'm not good at social media, give yourself some grace. Know that no one is. The best part about this business is there are so many trainings and calls and everything that I have learned about social media to get the followers that I have and to get the success came from Beachbody. I didn't go pay some other account. I didn't, like do anything or have any extra help. I literally, like, Beachbody has this amazing group, Beachbody Champions. And I was in there, and that's how I learned. I learned from talking to Kelly, talking to Kaylee, talking to other people, like, hey, what are you doing for this? What are you doing for that? Just women coming together to support other women. Amazing stuff happens. So that's how you get good at social media. It's just practice. And again, like, Elon Musk, Tesla, that guy started at zero. Like, I love saying this, Oprah has the same amount of hours in her day as you do, my friends. And she started at zero, and she just never, and everybody told this girl no. And she just kept going. So you need to be like the Oprah Winfrey of your life and be like, I want this, I'm going to keep going. And it will happen. It will happen. So that is never an excuse, like social media. You can always figure it out. Everything is figure outable. It's a book. Aaron, pass it. Need a button.
So good. So many good points. So, well, the next one's kind of tied to that too. People ask, were you already big on social media? Do you need a lot of followers? But let me speak to that a little bit, because I also privately got the question, do you think that you're successful because you were in the cast of 80 Day Obsession? So let me just address that elephant in the room that a lot of people assume about me, and tell you guys that my perspective on that is, no, I actually think it was harder for me because I was in the cast of 80 Day Obsession. And I'll tell you why. When I was in 80 Day Obsession and I built a following from that, guess how many of those people were already Beachbody coaches and customers? Like 98.9% of the people who followed me. So every time I showed up on social media, there were new followers who were not potential customers or coaches that I could work with. There were DMs from people wanting to know about my experience, my time, wanting to know about coaching, wanting to know about signing like up as a coach, but they already had coaches. They were already signed up under Beachbody. So I spent probably 70% of my time connecting with people and answering questions, only to find out that they were already signed up or they were already coaches. And I didn't regret it. Like, I didn't have a bad attitude about it, to be honest. I thought about it like this. I thought, I was lucky enough to get to be in that program, and it changed my life and my mindset, and it's made me want to do this business. And I want to help every single person who has questions and needs advice and needs insight. And I saw it as a blessing. And I reminded myself every single day, my people are coming. My people are out there. I'm going to stay positive and believe that they're out there. And I'm going to keep helping every person who asks for my help, regardless of if they can be part of my team or not, because that's just the energy that I want to put out to the universe, that I am a helper. And that was my ultimate goal, was to help people. So I just kept putting one foot in front of the other. I kept sharing, and over time I did. But in the beginning, you guys, my followers grew rapidly. My business grew very, very slowly. People kept being like, oh my God, you're going to be like a star diamond in like 3 months. And I was embarrassed because I wasn't even a diamond yet. Like, I couldn't get to diamond. I really struggled. So no, I don't think that it mattered that I was in the cast of 80 Day Obsession from a social media perspective. The only thing that mattered about that was I got to be a part of something that changed the way I thought, and I applied that to my business, and that changed my life. So anybody can do this. There are also a lot of people who've been in the cast of programs that have tried to coach and quit and didn't do it. So you can look at other people around you, and you can come up with all kinds of reasons in your brain why they're successful and why it's easier for them and why they can do it and why you can't. But I'm just going to be straight up. It's all bullshit. Like, you have to call bullshit on yourself. Like, I would have to call it on myself. And if you want to do it, you'll find a way to do it. Like, you'll put in the time, you'll ask for help when you need it. You'll learn as you go. Nobody has anything special about them that makes it easier for them. Like this, you can talk to every top coach in this company, and every one of them will tell you a struggle story. Not one of them is going to tell you how easy it was. So it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's not easy. You do have to work on personal development. You have to love it and want to do it. And you can't come into it with the mindset of, I'm going to give it 6 months and see how it goes. You've already set yourself up to fail. If you've put a timeline on yourself for your start date to when you'll be successful and make a decision if you're going to continue with it, then you set yourself up to fail. So you have to go into it with the right mindset and the right attitude of, I'm in this for the long haul. I believe I can do it. I'm ready to take my journey, whatever that looks like, because wherever you get stuck, wherever you struggle, wherever you feel held back, that's where your lessons are. That's where you're being leveled up for the success that's waiting for you. But there's obviously something you need to learn to execute on it. So just take it all as a lesson and keep moving forward, knowing that quitting is not an option for you. And that is what's going to make all the difference in being successful.
Yes, I love it.
Thanks, Kelly.
I am so like passionate about that, because I can't stand when people start and they expect something right away and they quit and think it's not for them. Like, how many people went to college and got a 4-year degree or then some and came out of college 4 years later just starting to make money, but you actually had debt to work for someone else that you're going to work for until you're 65 on their terms. Like, I don't care if you don't make a dime in this until you're 4 years in, you're still coming out ahead in my book. Like, it blows my mind. So I think when you flip the script and you're like, wait a second, like, I went to school for 4 years to learn how to do my profession, and you may be able to surpass that with this. Like, that blows my mind. Like me and Bobby, I see you on here, friend. We went to vet tech school together. We came out of school after 4 years that were really hard with long hours, but we were dedicated to it. And I made a paycheck that I didn't grow at. And I was stuck. I was capped out after 4 years. Like, I worked at my job for 13 years, and I'm surpassed it with this just because I was consistent. So think about your priorities and what your vision is on why you're starting this and what you envision long term for yourself, because that's what's going to keep you going on the days that you're like, is this worth it? It is. So just think about that. And then the question that I had next was, what do you do if your family is not supportive of this? So I will say Jake has been like 10,000% supportive. And so I feel very lucky in that. However, I know so many people who struggle where they don't have the support. And so number one, I would say that you have to just be the example. Jake's always supported me doing this business, working on my health and fitness, but he didn't always join me in it at first. And so for me, when I started my, just in the accountability group with my own journey with doing a fitness program, like I said, I would get up early. It was still dark. I would nurse Kinsley, put her down. I would go downstairs by myself and push play in the dark, and it sucked. But I did it every day, and it got easier. And he saw me showing up. He saw my physical results. He saw my mindset shift. And what do you know? He started jumping in with me. And me and him have been working out together every day since then for the past 5 years. Our kids join in with us. My parents have been drinking Shakeology. My sister does. I have friends and, college roommates who are now on this journey with me simply because I did me. And if you're making really amazing positive changes for yourself, that people want to be a part of that. People start wondering, like, maybe I could do that too. And so the best thing you can do for people who aren't supportive is to be so sure of why you're doing it and what you want out of it, that you're confident in that no matter who comes with you or not. I will say the majority of this experience has been so positive for me with amazing feedback, but there were a few people here and there at my old job or, old friends, whoever, that questioned it. And like we mentioned earlier, I'm not going to say you're not a little bit shaken by that, but if you know how this is helping you, it really doesn't matter. You can really just bless and release that. And that's what I say all the time, bless and release. Like, if you don't get it, that's okay. It doesn't have to be for everyone, but it is for me. And I'm confident in that. And so when you can take that approach and not let family members who don't understand or people at work who don't understand, if they don't get under your skin as much, and you lean so hard into this community, because look at all these people on here. Like, when you join in, you get a family of people who are supporting you and who just get you. And now my very best friends are the people that I do coaching with, because they get my mindset. They get why it's important to me, and they want that same thing too. So lean into your team and be the example, and sooner or later, people will probably end up hopping in with you. So I did have a cousin I invited like 10 times, and she said that she wanted to change so much, but she didn't want to join in. And I just kept asking her because I was like, hey, I don't feel bad about asking you. You don't have to join, but I love it and I'm still here. And she eventually did. She joined in. She lost 50 plus pounds. She became a coach that went on to hit diamond. Like, don't give up on people. Just keep doing you. And if they want to come around, they will.
Kelly, I love it. All the feels, everything you said. Okay, so next question was, what if I don't like selling? I love these because these are like totally me. I was like, I am not going to sell a box of shake to anybody. I am not going to be that girl. Anybody else? You're thinking, yes, you're like, whether you might be listening and you're like, God, like Shakeology looks cool, but man, I am not going to be. I don't know if anybody's ever watched, oh my God, Orange is the New Black. And in one of the episodes, if you have to comment if anyone saw it, but like she's literally selling these shakes out of her like trunk. And I was like, oh my God, and it was like, because she had to buy, yes, Samantha Horseman, yes, okay, you guys are all there. So she had to buy all of this stuff and then sell it. And so the good thing is, if you ever watch that and now you have anxiety over it, you don't do that with Beachbody. So if we have to put that out there, like Beachbody, you don't have to buy product and then sell, which is awesome, which is great because, oh my gosh, remember all the people doing, if you were that person, it like LuLaRoe and like lipstick, like some of my friends back home, like they were buying all of this product and then had to sell it. And it was like, they were like, I'm putting my family like at risk. I just invested $6,000 for leggings. So anyway, that's not how this is. And which is great because if you don't like selling, because you don't have that pressure. As a coach, you are not required to buy a certain amount. You are not required to sell a certain amount. You are not required to do anything. You don't have to hit certain levels. You can literally just be here for the discount. You can just be like, you could be here and never buy a darn thing ever in your life and just be sitting here pretty as a coach on one of our teams. Like that is possible because that's not what it's about. And it's always been about helping people. And so our CEO is this amazing guy, Carl Deichler, and one of the first huge events that I went to, and I will reference this until the day I die, but we go to this huge event called Summit. There's 30,000 Beachbody coaches all sitting there. It's my first one. I'm a new coach, 6 months into the business, and Carl Deichler gets on stage, the CEO of this whole company, and he gets on stage and everyone's like, yay, they love him. And he says, guys, and it gets like silent. And he's like, do not sell one more thing. Do not sell one more challenge pack. And I mean, the whole place was like dead silent. Nashville, we're in Nashville. I'm a new coach. I'm like, what the heck? This guy said, I don't know what that noise is. He says, do not sell anything. And it's like, everybody's looking at each other. Like, what is he talking? The CEO, what are we canceled? Like, is Beachbody going under? Like, what is he talking about? And then he says, and then and he just looks at everybody. He said, just go out and help somebody. Just help somebody. And he was like, obesity is the leading cause of like death right now. Like, what are we doing? There's people out there that are depressed and have anxiety. People need you. Don't sell one more thing. Just go help somebody. And that's always stuck with me because I'm like, that's the company I'll work for. That is what I want to be a part of. Like, I will scream it from the rooftops because the CEO in front of 30,000 coaches that want to rock just told the whole 30,000 coaches of his rock star coaches, the top of the top, not to sell one more thing, just to go and help somebody. So if you work your business, if you join in with that mindset, like, I don't want to be set, like, what I don't like selling, I don't want to be salesy. If you don't want to be salesy, you simply don't be salesy. If you go to make a post and you're like, oh, this feels like salesy, then don't post it. Like, Beachbody isn't like, you have to do this, you have to do that. I mean, if you go to some of our accounts, you won't even know what the heck we do. And I love that because people message me and be like, oh, I didn't know you did Beachbody. And I'm like, yes, that's like my goal. So people not know what I do because I want people to join me for Farron. I don't want, like, I am not Beachbody. I love Beachbody. It's what I use. So I think that's something for me, guys, if that ever helps you. If for me, when I did this and I didn't want to be salesy, I didn't want to be like, oh, I'm the girl from the MLM. Oh, I'm the girl selling shake powder out of her trunk. Like that girl, I had to tell myself, like, I want to be Farron Duran. People are going to join Farron Duran. I use Beachbody products. I use them. I support them, and I would love for my people to do them in my groups. My groups that I run on Facebook are 100% mine. Beachbody doesn't own them. They are Farron Durant's. People join me. But they also, I recommend Beachbody products because these are the tools that I use in my toolkit to get the absolute best results. And that shiz isn't salesy, because like I'm not being salesy because I'm literally telling you exactly what I've done, which goes back to what Kaylee said, like be a product of the product, do the program. If you don't want to be salesy, do it yourself. I will never tell one person to do anything that I haven't tried myself. So like I love that. I'm like, I'm a fitness influencer now. Look at me. Like I'm a product tester. Like this is awesome. This is the best business in the world. I get to get hot and then I get to tell other people how to get hot. Like this is so fun. So if you don't want to be moral of the story, if you're like, I don't like sales, you just don't be salesy. You just don't. You just say, I don't want to say it and I'm not going to say it. And then you let it happen naturally, and people, you won't like, it will sell itself by your post and by your journey. It will sell itself. I mean, you get results, you start looking happy. Holy crap. Like people will join you and you won't have to sell a darn thing. Moving on.
Amen. I love that. Okay. Well, the next question is more on the personal side. Why do you think you're so successful? So like, I guess, like I said in the beginning, I quit like 5 times, you guys, before I actually became successful. So it's been 4 years since I said I was going to do this and like really freaking meant it. And I think that the reason I'm successful is that it's not that I don't have bad days. It's not that there aren't days where I cry or doubt myself or think like, what the heck am I doing? But I'm successful because like my go-to affirmation is hanging in my garage in my workout space. So I look at it every single day of my life is I look for solutions and I find them. So I come up against obstacles all the time. I always tell Nick, technology is not my friend. And we joke about the fact it's probably self-fulfilling prophecy. I really should start saying technology is my friend. Like I need to use my own tools and resources here. But I have technology glitches all the time. I'm not great with technology. I'll record a reel. It'll disappear. I don't know where it went to. That crap is frustrating, right? And then I think like, you want to be like, forget it. If it was meant to be, it wouldn't be so hard. But I don't allow that mentality in my life anymore. Like I lived that way for so long, it gets you nowhere but frustrated and stuck. So if I find myself in that place where I feel like that, I just stop and I breathe and I say, I look for solutions and I find them. And every day my thought is, what's one thing I can do today to move the needle forward on my business? Can I do a power hour? Can I reach out to 10 people? Can I send out a newsletter? Can I make a reel? Like, what is one thing I can do that's actionable, that's going to like help me connect with people so I can help people? Like, how can I add value today? So I guess those are the two like big things. Every time I post on social media, my thought is, how can I add value? Like, why am I sharing this? What's my intention? How am I adding value by sharing this? And I just don't let myself get caught up in the frustration and the little things. I just constantly remind myself, if I look for solutions, I will find them. And I just keep going. Like maybe some days I have to fall apart a little bit, and then I have my temper tantrum, deep breath, glass of wine, start back over. Like, same that I say when one of my clients struggles with their nutrition. They're like, frick, I ate a donut, I had a glass of wine, and then I thought, well, I've already screwed the whole day up, so then I ate a sleeve of cookies. Okay, you did that. Can't undo it, right? But what's the next decision you get to make? Drink a glass of water before you go to bed, get a good night's sleep, wake up, press play on your workout, start again. It's only a bad decision if you let it become a repeat decision. So have bad moments, have bad days, have frustrating things happen, keep putting one foot in front of the other, look for solutions, and try to add value so you can help people, like Farron said. Like, honestly, I think like that's the magic sauce to me. It's all in your mindset. Time plus consistency will get you to success. So you can't quit. You got to keep showing up.
Yes.
Thanks, Kimmy.
All right, so the next one is, how do you help us create what you've created? And so we kind of touched on that earlier. We all have our own coaching mentorships or, new coach launch pads or whatever it is that we all call them that we plug you into when you get started. So whoever you are, joining in with, you will get that whole team. You'll get the coach, you'll get the team, you'll get our company's online office and all of those tools, the pages like Farron mentioned, where you can go and there is no shortage of training here. It's a ton that you can even get lost in sometimes. So you just have to really plug yourself in, connect with your coach. Communication is key, and really plugging into what they're telling you, not as your boss, but as your mentor and as a friend and someone who's been through it and knows, what's worked for them. And then it's up to you to take tips and tools and apply them as they fit in with your business, because everyone's going to be a little bit different. And so when you join in, you are your own boss, but you get a whole team of people who are supporting you and helping you do it together. So you take responsibility, but you learn from other people. And it's just a really great give and take in our teams. And I'm so thankful for our teams. And so that's, I think, why it's really helpful, like Farron said, when you're looking for who you're inviting to this business, who do you want to snuggle with at retreats? Like, that's why we put this thing together in the first place, because we're like, man, we want to like help people get to these retreats, because that is, let's face it, when you see people and the ladies like I used to saw at the beach and their matching shirts, and I'm like, are they really that happy? I don't know. I should probably find out and go and see for myself. And we want you guys there too. So finding people that you enjoy doing this with so that you stay in open communication and you have fun talking with your coworkers, that's huge. I mean, raise your hand if you've had a coworker that you didn't really love to go to work and see before. Well, here, you get to pick who you work with. So that's a good thing. And then I think the next one kind of goes along with that a bit. Just how long do you have to work before you see results? It's totally up to you. I mean, like we said, you can choose to work 15 minutes a day and grow slowly. You can choose to work 3 hours a day and grow more. But it also isn't just the amount of time that you put into it, it's how efficient you're being with that time and how purposeful. Because you can work a really long day and work all day long listening to trainings that you never apply. I've done that before. Or you can really stay focused and sit down and be intentional and be, and grow quicker. So sky's the limit, but you just got to keep showing up, because if you quit, you'll never find out.
We tell them that the three of us are pairing up to run a Road to the Retreat push group that starts March 29th.
Yeah.
I feel like you just mentioned it because like Kelly and Farron and I, like we all have our own independent teams, but like you also don't just get your team in this business. Like there's no competition. There's no like, oh, I got to do better than Kelly or I got to do better than Farron. It's like, no, I want to learn from them and I want to work with them and I love their energy. Will you speak to my team? I'll speak to your team. And the three of us decided to just come together, share our knowledge that we've gained on our own journeys and how we got to where we're at. And so we genuinely mean it when we say we want all of you guys to be on these retreats and beach trips with us. So we are going to run a group that starts March 29th for 21 days. The three of us, the goal is like get you to diamond, which might mean nothing to you right now. Just know it's a foundational rank that when you get there, you're like, I've helped 12 people. That's pretty much what it is. We're going to help you help 12 people in 21 days. So if you are all in for this already, which hopefully a lot of you guys are, I can't see why you would not be. If you're not all in yet, we need to know why. Like post it in the chat. Here's the questions I still have. Here's the doubts that are lingering for me. But otherwise, all three of us are hosting retreats. All three of us are going to work together to help all of you guys earn a spot at those retreats. So that's another thing about how we help you guys get results.
And if you're terrified like I was before I went on my first Beachbody trip, like, what are we going to do there? Like, do we have to work out all the time and just like eat some salads and I'm going to be like hiding in a corner? Not that at all. So we have so much fun. And it really, like the first time I went on my first trip, I was so scared of what to expect. And I got there and was like, oh my God, these are my people, like drinking in a pool and, going and eating at the resorts and just connecting. And you will see people from all different walks of life, different ages, different sizes. And it just, everyone's happy. Everyone's there supporting each other. I remember Jake came with me to my first event and we like left and he's like, everyone was so happy. I was like, yes, I want to be a part of this. So don't be scared about the retreats. You're going to want to earn your spot.
That's so funny. Okay, so I'm so excited that she talked about the 3-week thing, because that is, we are really excited to do this, because again, this goes with at the beginning, you're not just signing up, we want to help you be successful, like, and we basically learning from us and what we've already done. So one of the next questions was, can I replace a full-time working income? So this is great. So I hate talking about money, because it makes me anxious. I'm like sweating. I'm a sweater. Like I'll start, like, since we've been doing this call, like my armpits are sweating and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. But when I talk about money, because it's like, I never want people to get that wrong. Like it's never, again, you have to put in your mindset, I need to make an impact. It is okay to want to make a lot of money. And sometimes my coaches that are on my team, when we have team calls, I'm like, it's okay to want to make money. Like you can, because doctors, they help people and they also want to make a lot of freaking money. Like there's people doing good things that, yes, want to make a lot of money. There's a lot of other weird stuff you could be doing to make money, and you're choosing to make money helping other people. So right now you have to tell yourself, like, holy crap, that's freaking awesome. And I can work hard to make a difference, and I can make an income. So yes, can you replace a full-time income? So super fun. When I started this business, again, I just wanted to help one person. Then I saw oh, I'm like paying off my Shakeology, which was really cool. And my husband always tells me, he's like, even if you only pay off your Shakeology, that means you get to drink your breakfast for free every month. Like, how cool is that? Like, you get to drink. And I'm like, okay, like that is really cool. And then I never had the mindset of money. I was just always like, who can I help? How many people can I help? I got so freaking excited when people would message me and say they wanted to join, or when they would be in my groups and they would say, hey, Farron, I lost 5 pounds. I'm like, oh my gosh, like it was amazing. And I would screenshot their results. I would screenshot what they said. I couldn't wait to come home and talk to them. Like when I would be at work, I'd come home, I couldn't wait. And so in just doing that, I never focused on money in the beginning, because I just was like, how many people can I help? Like, this is fun. Like, and as I went on, it was 6 months in. So I started in the winter. And then, so by summertime, so I was PRN, I'm a CT tech. So, which means CAT scan. So I'm at the hospital and I was PRN. So I just pick up shifts, but I was working a lot. And because, I just had 2 kids, and what am I supposed to do? And I was thinking about picking up full time, and 6 months in, my husband was like, hey, you don't really need to work as much. Like your income is starting to replace. And I'm like, oh, well, this is cool. So then I started to be like, wow, this is really a thing. So then I kind of started to track what I was making. And so now I've been a coach for 5 years. But last year was the point my husband, okay, so let's all be real, right? Let's all be real. Let's be real open, real. I'm going to lay it down for you and tell you. So I want you to believe me and believe this.
Scrape it, dig it.
Someone was excited about this, but so just to be raw and real and open. So COVID happened. My husband got laid off, and it was like, oh my gosh, I went and cried in a Walmart parking lot for 4 hours. And then I didn't come home and I didn't talk to him, and I shut the door and I was like, hey, keep the kids. I can't do this right now. And we just moved 9 hours away from our home, and you get freaking laid off, and we're in COVID, and I'm crying and it's awful. And then I sat back and I pulled up my Beachbody account, and my husband, and then the next morning when I woke up, I was like, honey, I replaced your income. You don't need to go back to work. And it was like that, holy, we've never really looked at it. I've always looked at Beachbody as fun money, and I'm just having a great time. And then it was like, wait a minute, I just replaced my husband's full-time income and then my PRN income, and now I can stay home. My husband has been home for now a full year, and he doesn't need to go back. And so can you replace your full-time income? Yeah, hell yeah, you can. And, my goal has always been to have my husband home, because he's like my bestie. And so I just always wanted that. And so now I got the opportunity to do it. So can you do it? Yeah, yeah, you can do it. I mean, it will take work. I mean, there were times that I would stay up late. I mean, if you ever know me, I will get a message from me at like 12:30 a.m. because I literally love this so much. I'm like, oh no, I gotta send one more message. And then I'm like, oh, I gotta talk to this person. So I think the sky is the limit, and I've watched people do incredible things. But again, your income is gonna directly correlate with the amount of people that you help. So if you are like, you know what, I want to help as many people as I can. I just want to get in the faces of other people. I want to help women love themselves. You will crush this sooner than you ever imagined, and you will make more money than you ever thought possible. And you will be so proud of that money. I promise this will like completely change your life. So that's all.
Yes. I love that story. So vulnerable. Well, you guys, it's been an hour. What if we each answer one more question? Should we do that? And if you guys are still hanging on to a fear that's holding you back, please share. Like if you have the fear, someone else on this call has it. And I bet you one or all three of us had it at some point. If you have a question, someone else probably has the same question. So don't be afraid to ask it. But we'll each answer one more. I'm trying to look at them to make sure I get something good. What's the biggest mistake you made in your coaching journey? I'm going to answer that one because I think the biggest mistake I made on my coaching journey was being afraid to tell people about the business opportunity for like the first year. So the first year, I felt super confident about inviting people to challenge groups because I did the workouts and I did the nutrition and I got my results and it made me feel amazing. And I wanted people to feel the way that I felt. But on the business side, I was like figuring it out and learning as I went. And so I didn't feel, number one, as confident about telling people about that opportunity. But number two, I don't know why was I embarrassed about that? Because do you guys want to know what happened? My aha moment for that? One of my friends had been in my challenge group for like 6 months, and she saw like a Beachbody call or video on Facebook, and it talked about the coaching opportunity and how she could save 25% on her Shakeology, but also earn an income and get all of her stuff covered. And she called me up and she yelled at me, and she was like, why? I would have been doing this with you the whole time. Why did you not tell me? Wouldn't this be so fun to do together? And I felt like such an idiot in that moment. Like, number one, she needed this and she didn't know it even existed because I didn't tell her. And as her coach, not just as her friend, but also as her coach, I had failed her for 6 months by not giving her all of the information and presenting all of the options and all of the facts to her. So that was a big wake-up call. And so what I did then was, I set non-negotiables for myself. I made it a non-negotiable to invite to the coaching opportunity every single week. And then once I got more comfortable with that, I eventually made it a non-negotiable to never have a conversation with somebody about what we have to offer without including the business opportunity in that conversation. And when I started to do that, it completely changed my entire business. It changed how many people I was able to help, how I was able to help them. There were so many people who needed the income in the community. There were so many people who were like, oh my God, this means so much to me because I've always wanted kids. I've always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but like I've been home with my kids for 6 years and I miss waking up and feeling like I have a purpose beyond wiping diapers and putting Band-Aids on skin knees. And they just wanted adult connection and they wanted to do something that was theirs outside of their kids. It didn't mean they didn't love being a stay-at-home mom. They didn't love their kids, but they just missed having that thing that was their own. And I was able to give that to them when I started to present this opportunity. And so I would say that was the biggest mistake I made on my coaching journey, was taking so long to figure out the value of the actual business opportunity and becoming confident in presenting it to people.
I love that so much because it's a total solution. And you're not to judge whether or not somebody else could use this. You can ask and they can say no, and that's totally fine, but it's not our decision whether or not somebody could benefit from any single aspect of this. So there's a question on here that says, is this really a good time to start something new and unpredictable? And to that, I would say, when is really a good time? there's always going to be something scary. There's always going to be a reason to not start. And I know that this past year has been a little bit crazy, and, there's more uncertainty than maybe in the past. But, like when I started this, like I was so unsure. I said no to coaching for a year. I was a challenger and I loved it. And I secretly wished I could do it, but I was so scared. And my husband was finally like, will you please just do it? Because you're talking about it all the time. Like you can just try it and then we can move on with our lives. If you succeed, great. If not, like then you don't have to live with regret. And that's like one of the biggest things that coaching has given me, is that mindset to put myself in situations that may be uncomfortable sometimes, to see how it can really bless my life. Because if we live just on the sidelines watching all the time, like I got so tired of sitting on the sidelines watching and wondering. And that's exhausting. And you could be in the game playing. And maybe you love it, maybe you don't, but then you don't have to live with regret. And so, you know, I went part-time 2 years into doing this, and that was a really big scary move because I had the insurance. I had always loved my job. I was just scared about all the schematics of it. And I did that. And then I started dreaming, well, what if I could go full-time coaching? Worked again, and then made that happen. And we literally were sitting at home in quarantine last year, and we're like, what are we doing? Like, life is short. I want to wake up in the morning and love going to work, because when I went back to work after quarantine, I was like, oh my God, I can't do it. Like, and I just wanted to be home coaching. And it almost didn't even make sense in some ways for us to quit our jobs and to move across the country and to start a new life here in the middle of a pandemic. But I said, forget it. Like, faith over fear. Like, instead of asking yourself, what could go wrong? Ask yourself, what could go right? Like, worst case scenario, you start and you don't like it and you've invited a couple people and maybe helped a couple of people find a community. Okay. Best case scenario, I mean, listen to the stories that you've heard tonight. Like, it can totally change your life. And I know that sounds so cheesy, but it's seriously, like, I would not be sitting here in this house with my family doing what I do if I hadn't just finally said yes, because Jake made me hit the submit button. So, like, just really flip the script and ask yourself, what could go right? And it could be you.
I love this. So I feel like all the questions, so I'll kind of like just end with my, I guess my takeaway and all with coaching is, it's crazy watching everyone say, like a couple of you guys have said, the biggest regret is that I didn't start sooner. This has been such a crazy year. And I always, every time, one of my favorite quotes is from Mr. Rogers. And he said something along the lines of, when I was younger, my mom would always say, when there are times of tragedy, look for the helpers. And you will always find helpers. And this whole year during the pandemic, I watched women of Beachbody and my team, everybody's team here, just Beachbody as a whole, become helpers in a bad situation. And so it was a bad situation. And I saw more coaches hosting free workouts, hosting anxiety classes, like these challenge groups. I mean, and girls on my team were making masks for people, like we were doing. I mean, it was just so incredible. And there is so much power in inspiring women coming together to inspire more women. So it's 9:10 on a freaking, what day of the week? It is Tuesday night, and you popped on a call right now to see what coaching was about. So that means that you had this. So what is this time? What was this time to you? Or is it going to be wasted? Or are you going to like step up and you're going to be like, I'm going to do something with this time? You learned a lot. You now learned that we're going to hold your hand. All three of us have been doing this forever. We know what we're doing, and it's like, are you going to be a part of the helpers? Are you going to be the girl that goes and be like, you know what, it's going to feel awkward and I'm going to have a hard time coasting sometimes. And I know it's going to be rough, like, but I have this goal and I have this passion and I have this belief that I can make a difference in someone's life. So if you have that like pit in your heart and in your stomach feeling that, like, what if I did it? And how I joined, I remember seeing girls, same thing as Kelly, seeing girls on the beach gosh, if you ever see any of our retreat pictures, we really make it look like it's crazy, and it is crazy awesome. And it's crazy being in it. And I used to be on the outside, and I remember seeing the same exact thing, guys, seeing girls at a retreat, and they were talking, the post was talking about how they were able to make an income and help people, and how women supporting women. And I grew up with a mom that would say women aren't great, and women aren't nice, and like, you're gonna be friends with guys, not women. And I grew up in thinking like that's how it was going to be. And then I got together with Beachbody girls, and my whole life has changed. And now I am in that. And so if you came on this call, like, give it a freaking chance. Let's see what you're made of. Like, you don't have to come on and join a team and go out and sell 1 million challenge packs, or you don't have to be the top earner. You don't have to be diamond. You don't have to do all these things. But if you want to be a part of the community and you're like, I just want to be in this, and I want the opportunity to possibly help somebody, just freaking do it. Just freaking do it. And actually, now that we're here, little plug that you get, Beachbody's actually doing this amazing thing for everyone that signs up. You get $40 like to give to somebody. This is like the only time they've ever done anything like this. So anybody who buys a challenge pack and signs up, or is a coach this month, then they will send you a code, so you can immediately get like your best friend to do this with you for $40 off, which is insane. And they've never done anything like this before. But that's always fun, because it's an easy way. Like, maybe your best friend has been watching you in this challenge group, wondering why you're so happy. You're starting to fit in your clothes. What's going on? And you're like, look, I have $40 off. You can do it with me. I mean, that would mean a whole year of it for $100. Like, and because like one of the cheapest challenge packs, like, so it's amazing. This is an amazing opportunity. And we've been hanging out for over an hour now. I hope that you all take this, and I hope that you take this and you freaking run with it, and you believe in yourself. And for the times that you get nervous and you have that like struggling, I don't know if I believe in myself, I hope you know that now you have a tribe that has your back, because all of us will have your back, and we'll be there for you. We'll like your post, we'll hug you, and I will snuggle the heck out of you at all of the retreats. Guaranteed.
I'll make you a margarita.
Yeah. I won't be sweating, so we'll be good. I'll be excited then.
Guys, can I share one more thing? I just want everybody on this call to know about Farron's book, because I know I'm going to embarrass you, but like, I just have to say it, because you guys, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm a huge believer in the power of gratitude and how you can manifest and create your own life. Yes, everyone's got one. Hold it up. And Farron wrote the Live Inspired Gratitude Journal. And honestly, you guys, if you're sitting on this call right now and you're sitting here and you feel self-doubt, like, I was the most insecure, shy person 5 years ago, like literally, like debilitating. I turned down the opportunity to be on 80-Day Obsession 3 times because I was terrified of being in front of a camera, because I was so insecure and I was so shy. And also my ex-husband used to say, for a cute girl, you're really unphotogenic. So the thought of being in front of a camera was terrifying to me. And I started keeping a gratitude journal right at the beginning of 80-Day Obsession. And like, the act of writing down all the things that you're grateful for and all the things that are going well in your life. And then eventually you get to where you start to express gratitude for the things you know are coming before they even get to you. Like, Farron didn't write this book for no reason. Like, this has worked in her life. This works in my life. Like, gratitude will change everything, you guys. So it's on Amazon. Maybe Farron wants to pop the link in the chat. I know she's being modest right now, but seriously, it's so good, you guys. And if you feel insecure and like you're going to just take the leap of faith on this, and you know that you need like that to work on your self-confidence, to work on your mindset, to work on your positivity, get you one of these and use it as you start your journey, because it will truly help you. So I just wanted to say that and say congratulations again, Farron, because you created something really wonderful and helpful and beautiful.
So I'm gonna like piggyback. You're gonna have to listen to us, guys, forever. But this is really cool, and it was really cool. That was really cool to do that. But and she also wrote a book, so we're just gonna be cheering each other on here on these books. So, but the really cool thing, and I think she can speak for this too, and and Kelly moving and doing all this stuff is like the book, the gratitude journal that I wrote is really awesome. But that would not have happened. I was Farron pre-Beachbody, would have never done this. And so one of my favorite people to look up to, Katie Ursta, and she's a part of our team here. And she would always tell me in the beginning, like, Beachbody is the perfect platform. So it's the perfect platform for anything you want to do in your life. So if you're like, I just want to be a better person, I want to do big things, starting with Beachbody. Beachbody taught me marketing. It taught me people. It taught me, having the confidence to do a gratitude journal, having the extra income to pay an editor, to, to put like my words on paper and be able to give that out. So, it is really cool, but that opportunity is right in front of all of you too. And so anybody can do these amazing things. And I think the first piece is surrounding yourself around positive, like-minded women that have your back. Because example, I'm in South Carolina, she's in California, like she has my book, like that stuff is really cool. Like that these worlds even collided, but it would have never happened if I didn't just say yes. If I didn't just say, you know what, I think I can do this. And now, like, it's awesome. So thank you for the plug. You're the best.
You're welcome. Well, you guys, whoever invited you to this call, like, just first of all, they're probably going to follow up with you. But second, why wait? Like, take control of your life right now. Send them a message. I challenge you to do it tonight. Like, do it while you're in your feels. One of my favorite movies is We Bought a Zoo. He tells the story. It just takes 20 seconds of brave to change your whole life. Like, I love that quote from that movie. It just takes 20 seconds of brave to change your whole life. Alicia, you should watch that movie with your kids this weekend. It's a great movie. So just take a deep breath and just send them a message, send them a text, send them a DM. I'm in. That's all you have to do. We'll hold your hand and we'll take you on the rest of this journey from there. So Scott says, no, Scott, it's good. I promise. All right, that's it. We don't see any more questions. So we're gonna let you guys all get back to your night. Thanks for being here. Hopefully
so
we get to snuggle you all on a retreat very soon.
Yay! Bye, guys.